Hi, I'm Claire and welcome to my channel Becoming Aligned. And this week I'm kicking off a new series called The Frequency of Miracles. And this series is for conscious women who are ready to live in energetic alignment with the truth of who they are and want to create their life by design rather than by default. So in this first episode, we're going to be exploring something foundational, which is how your energy and your experience of life is being shaped not by what's out there, but by the meaning that we give it to what's happening. So this is the beginning of miracle frequency. So let's check it out. So there are two energetic thought systems that we can live from. One is based on truth, which is the part of you that is loving and limitless and whole. And I call this the whole self. Pretty creative, I know. And the second thought system that we can exist in, that you'll be very familiar with, is based on illusion. It's the fearful part of you that believes that you're separate or limited or lacking or not enough. This thought system I label as the false self. So this part of us is very much magnified in the media, and pretty much every marketing message that we've been hit with, because they know that we're more inclined to be driven to spend money trying to avoid pain rather than moving towards pleasure. A Course in Miracles, which is a deep energetic retraining of the mind from fear back to love, speaks to this illusion too. Although you don't need to study A Course in Miracles to understand the essence, because it's what we're going to be tapping into here. But the core idea for today is that you're not seeing reality as it is. You are seeing the world through the lens of your belief system. Your outer world is a projection of your inner thought system. And this thought system, whether it's rooted in truth or illusion, directly affects your frequency, your vibrational frequency, or how you experience life. So this is why you can go to a movie and come out and have scored it a 10 and think it was the greatest movie that you've ever seen, and have a completely different experience to someone else who thought it was a 5 and probably a bit of a waste of their time. We're experiencing life through our belief systems. So what is a miracle? It's not some magical fix. It's simply a shift in perception when we can move from the false self thought system, limited, lacking, fearful, separate, into the system of truth, the whole self, which gives us a completely new experience and reality. This happens because your energy follows your perception. Our perception creates our reality, and our reality reflects back to us our perception. So when we shift our perception or our thinking, our field shifts. That's our emotions, our decisions, our magnetism. They all change. Miracles don't start out there. They start in here, the head and the heart, which both create our perception. So let's try something together. If you just close your eyes, if it's safe in this moment, and bring to mind something completely neutral. Might be a cup, a chair, a tree. Now say, this means nothing, or this cup is meaningless. And notice how that feels in your body. It might be open or light, maybe free. Now, I want you to assign meaning to this cup or this object that you've envisaged. This cup reminds me I'm cared for. This cup reminds me I'm loved. This cup is precious to me. And feel how that feels in your body, maybe warmth in your tummy or your chest. Now make another shift. This cup is chipped. It always annoys me. I don't like drinking from this cup. Notice the energy that you're feeling in your body. Is it tightening or frustration? Maybe some heaviness. Now open your eyes. Same object, different thought, different frequency. Our frequency determines our experience. Let's try this with a person. Again, close your eyes and think of someone who's upset you recently or triggered you recently. What are you believing about them? What's the story that you're telling yourself about what they did or what they said meant about you? It might be that they don't care about me, or that they knew what they were doing, they were intentionally upsetting me. What is the story you're telling? Now feel what that belief does to your energy. Does it make you angry? Sad? Where does that feel in your body? Now I want you to shift the meaning. They're doing the best they can with what they know. They're doing the best they can from the conditioning that they've had through their life. I can choose peace instead. I can choose to not let this upset me or upset my peace. How does that feel in your body? Again, same person, different perception. This is miracle territory. So this is the truth of your experience, that you're never upset for the reason that you think. You're upset because of what you make the experience or the story mean about you. As I was driving the other day, I made a mistake turning into a street. I was unconsciously operating under old road rules that have since changed. And where I normally had the right of way, it's changed and the other driver does. And I forgot in the moment. In this instance, I didn't give way, and the other person who I didn't give way to beeped the horn. And as I was driving, I could see her like she was livid, like, you know, swearing in the rear view mirror, and she was shaking her fist at me, like absolutely livid. And so when we got to the lights, I stopped and I jumped out of my car, and I, had a smile on my face. I went up to her and I said, "I am so sorry. That was entirely my mistake. It was an innocent mistake. I didn't mean to, and I can understand why you're upset. Please accept my apologies," or something along those lines. But I was utterly mortified and apologized. She was gobsmacked. And she's like, "Oh, no worries at all. Yeah, I get it. It totally happens." And she laughed. She went from furious to forgiveness in 5 seconds because she changed the narrative in her head as to who I was and what I was trying to do to her. I was trying to cut her off intentionally or whatever her story was, but her energy changed in an instant. And that would have changed her frequency, which would have changed her experience of driving to work, or could have changed her whole day. Sometimes we can sit in those moments in our head for an hour, for a day. And if we change the meaning, we change our energy. And if we change our energy, we change everything. So this week, I want to invite you to become curious. When you feel triggered, think, what thought am I believing here? What story am I assigning to this moment, to this experience, to this situation or circumstance? And from that awareness, gently choose again. That's the frequency of miracles. One conscious thought at a time creates our life by design. So you can start questioning what you're seeing, not to judge yourself, but to free yourself. The miracle doesn't come from fixing the outside world. That's not possible. That's where emotional suffering comes. It comes from unplugging from the illusion of the false self. Because when you stop believing the projections, you return to the frequency of truth, the whole self. And the frequency of truth is where miracles happen. So I'd love to hear your thoughts, how this landed for you, any comments. And if you liked the video, please like, please subscribe and share if there's someone who you think might resonate with them too. Until then, I'll see you next week.